Stepney's visit to the Fat Controller's railway was coming to an end, said the Fat Controller. Then he turned his attention to all the other engines. Whispered Duck. Snapped James. And he was. The Diesel surveyed the shed. He sneered. The engines glared. The engines were furious! Next morning, they held an indignation meeting round the turntable. Mumbled Gordon. Said James. Spluttered Henry. Cried Donald and Douglas. Their chance came sooner than expected. The Diesel was purring comfortably. An inspector watched a fitter making final adjustments. The wind tugged at the inspector's hat. The Diesel was ready. He rolled proudly towards his coaches. Then it happened! Shaking and spluttering, the Diesel stopped. Meanwhile, the inspector was looking for his hat. The Diesel seethed with fury as Duck and Stepney pushed him back to the shed. Exclaimed the inspector. Said the Fat Controller. Cried Stepney. The engines were soon ready. Smiled Stepney. The cavalcade moved carefully over the rails and out to the open line. Puffed Stepney. Replied Duck. Soon they were whizzing through Edward Station. And next they charged at Gordon's Hill beyond. They felt the drag of the heavy coaches here. It was hard work. At last, they were running smoothly along the line towards the big station. Said Gordon. And Gordon chortled away. Next day, everyone came to say goodbye to Stepney. Whistled the engines. Replied Stepney. Then he puffed away. And what about Diesel? He slipped out whilst no one was looking. He said goodbye to no one, but left two things behind: a rather nasty smell and a battered bowler hat.